You need to trust in what you do. Once you have put something into your mind, don't let anyone else stop it anymore. If you continuously develop yourself, educate yourself, train yourself, seriously observe yourself, try to be honest with yourself, listen to the opinions of other people, and after all of this, you finally come up with a plan. This one now, don't doubt anymore. Why do you have then a wife and a husband if you don't pay them the necessary respect and attention that they, let's say, deserve, or also towards your children? Why it is important to learn and concentrate on one thing specifically, because this is the pure expression of what the Buddhist teaching or also the Shaolin teachings are about. We don't know what this lifetime is going to throw at us, what type of challenges we're going to face. Sometimes you ask, but why do you do it? How often will it happen in lifetime? Doesn't matter, even if it happens one time, I'm better be prepared. The children or your wife or your husband want to spend time with you, but they can see very clearly your body is there, your mind is not there. You're just not present. This is where you start the day, because sleeping is for us winter time. You're stagnating. You're inside of yourself. Everything is calm, everything is quiet. Winter time, no birds outside, not many people outside. It's cold, you are at retreat. And after winter comes spring. Spring and winter time, how do they differ? For example, just by the feeling of you standing in front of your house, standing there in winter time, and then comparing it just to the feeling. Now spring is there. The grass already started slowly growing. The birds maybe already start singing. More people come out of the house, a little bit more smiling than usual. So you feel something is rising. And it is this type of energy, this type of feeling that we need to get used in our body first, because we want to develop something. I want something inside of me to develop. And this is why you need proper methods. Repetition is key, knowing the right methods. We don't know what this lifetime is going to throw at us, what type of challenges we're going to face. But therefore, it's always nice, also gives me a good sense of being prepared. If I just know that I went through a lot of things already. Sometimes you ask, but why do you do it? How often will it happen in lifetime? Doesn't matter, even if it happens one time, I'm better be prepared. That is what I prefer. So restlessness, there is a nice picture you can always think about. We say it's the monkey mind. You're jumping from one thought to another. What it means is you're maybe having contact with a lot of branches, but it's very difficult to really focus and concentrate on one thing specifically. Why it is important to learn and concentrate on one thing specifically, because this is the pure expression of what the Buddhist teaching or also the Shaolin teachings are about. So the point is, it is about going deeper. Going deeper means it is going to give you an insight. And so what is Buddhist teaching about? To give you insight into what? Sometimes into your body, sometimes into your mind. So what's the problem with the restlessness? You don't gain insight, because the monkey all the time is jumping too much and staying too much on that surface area. Now translated, it just means that on an average day, whatever job you are doing, you do it under your possible potential. Also, what it means is you can't really embrace what you actually have there. It's like you are at work, you are supposed to concentrate and work, write down your emails, but all the time you're already like jumping around, making plans for the weekend, who to call, or that you're hungry, or that you're thirsty, what movie to watch. This is how you behave when you're at work. Then afterwards you drive home and maybe the family is waiting for you. Yeah, it's a good example, but the children or your wife or your husband want to spend time with you, but they can see very clearly your body is there. your mind is not there. You're just not present. Sometimes the question just is, why do you have then a wife and a husband if you don't pay them the necessary respect and attention that they, let's say, deserve, or also towards your children? If it's a conscious decision why you don't pay attention to them, well, there's something different. Then it's really the question, why do you have family then? But that restlessness can also mean it happens unconsciously. And maybe for you yourself, you don't realize it, but people around you, they realize very quickly if you are with them or not. And I just think that this is hindering you now in that picture of reaching that mountain or reaching that goal. It's hindering you because whatever you do, you don't do it properly. You jump from one to another. You maybe have touched many different surfaces, but you don't really have an insight into them. What it means, therefore, you need to trust in what you do. Once you have put something into your mind, don't let anyone else stop it anymore. That if you continuously develop yourself, educate yourself, train yourself, seriously observe yourself, try to be honest with yourself, listen to the opinions of other people, and after all of this, you finally come up with a plan. This one now, don't doubt anymore. The plan that before that you have well thought of, that you have taken time to establish it, where you spend weeks and months of figuring out should you really do it. It is this type of plan where skeptical doubt is not necessary. If you are still in the field or in that area of you are unsure, don't start the journey. If you're still in the field of, that mountain is so high, do you really think I can reach the top? But it looks dangerous. If you're still in that state, don't even start. This evaluation of your risks and should you and your benefits and all of this, you make that before. You make that in the moment where you still have time and space to look for yourself. Is it really what you want? And make a plan. This is what's happening in those. We call it 99%. You stay calm, you stay relaxed. Spend 99% of your lifetime relaxed. But that 1% is the other way. 99%, I'm a very peaceful person. I'm a very easygoing person, I think. And as long as I stay in the 99%, it stays like this. But if somebody forces you into the 1%, then at least it is my attitude which is like this, 1% is 1%. Inside the 1%, there is no compromise of jumping back into the 99 anymore. That's why the 99 is so big, because you have time to really think about what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? What is it worth for you fighting for? This is the 99%. And the 1%, there is the no compromise. You decide, you walk the path, then here we go. What I relate to personally to this idea of that skeptical doubt. You shouldn't have it anymore. Every time one of these mental states pops up into your mind, positive emotion, negative emotion, ill will, you feel depressed, you feel weak, you feel lack of power, you have this restlessness inside of you, or the skeptical doubt coming up. Most important is you need to realize it. Realize that it is just there. You recognize and you realize that at this moment in time, you are finding yourself in one of these mental states which are representing hindrances. Now the next step, what are you doing after you have recognized that you are in it? We start to analyze. You do everything that is in your possibilities to ask questions about why did it come up? What did it trigger? When did it exactly come up? How actually did this feeling in the first place get into yourself? When was, for example, the first time that you realize that you are having this type of mental state. What analyzing means is you try to look into your past also. Is it something related to the education of your parents? Is it something related to an idea that you caught up from, I don't know from where? Analyzing means that you make an investigation. Investigation means this time you go deeper. Accept it, acknowledge it. The difference is when you acknowledge something and accept something, it is that you're not pushing it away. You're not resisting it. And the reason for that is, as long as something is not accepted or not acknowledged, it can't be changed because it is still outside of you. So if I have like a mental state, anything like this, and I say, yes, it's there, but I want to have it gone, then what you're trying to do in this approach is you're separating. You're trying to separate it, but this is not the way this method is expressing. This method tells you, why is it there? It's because something inside of you already is resonating with it. So it's a matter of you. It's your business. So now what you're doing is, I accept the business. I take it. I understand, okay, it's my business. That is the acknowledgement, the acceptance that you are saying, okay, I'm going to take care of it. If you reject it, if you don't embrace it, it can't be changed. Now comes the investigation. This is where you ask the questions, where you try to find out more. You want to become familiar. You want to take that feeling into your family. Make it become part of you and make it become friend of you. Understanding, it is a part of you, but maybe it's just a misunderstanding of the way how you saw it before. Investigation of asking questions, finding out more about it. Where does it come from? Who implemented it into your way of seeing the world? And ultimately, the last step is what we call non-identification. Non-identification is that you sometimes need to stand above you and see from that perspective, how can you support yourself? How can you support that person to get into the next development stage, for example, yeah? This is one type of non-identification, but at the same time also means nothing stays as it is. Nothing stays as it is. Just as sometimes things are so overwhelming entering into your life, it can happen the other way around as well. Look back into your personal life. How many bad moments did you have in the past? How many times did you suffer in the past? How often we were already thinking like this is the end of the world, girlfriend left you, boyfriend left you, different occasions, yeah? But none of them stayed. That is like also the other truths behind it. The great part is the way how you are able to use either the imagination or just like the abilities of the mind. Because you can turn it both ways. Either you see it as, why did it come so suddenly? Or you see the opposite. It's going to leave. Of course, in this world we are living, we humans and this society, I think, is more easily being torn towards the positive or towards a very certain side, let's say. But this is because of the developments of our 21st century, where there are certain values being propagated. There is no propaganda in learn how to be poor, learn how to deal with failure, learn how to not be successful, learn how to accept the way how you are, not how to make yourself more beautiful and try to stay beautiful. There is a different agenda going on in the 21st century. And based on that, I do think that the mindset also has shifted, therefore, in trying to fulfill the expectations, what is present in our nowadays world. But it's your personal decision. It's really important for me to really say this again and again. I'm not here to judge whether something is good or whether something is bad. But I'm just saying that if you have placed something upon your mind, that right now you are trying with your lifetime to make it become real. But this is what you're trying to put into this life. It's not even an idea that comes from you. It can go very wrong to one day find out that you have lived a life and invested your lifetime following up on a vision, on an expectation or anything like this, which first of all was never something initially coming from yourself, And afterwards, even if you followed up on it and achieved it, afterwards realize it doesn't give you what you were looking for in this lifetime. How do I get something from what at the moment is only in my mind into something that it becomes real? When is something real? It's real when it's here, when also other people can see it, not just you in the mind. Then it's real. And how do we make this now happen? Of course, you need a small step-by-step plan, and you break your ideas down into walkable steps. But along this plan, along this way of trying to make it become real, you need to find more and more ways. How does something so fine like your thoughts start to shape into a form? So it is about find ways to give it expression. Write it down on paper. One way of giving thoughts an expression. Speaking it out to your friends. More people know about it. Writing it onto your fridge. Something where the thought starts to enter into your visible world. These are small things that just support you on this mission. The next step would be whatever you would like to achieve there. What skills are necessary? Do you have the skills? A little bit more nicely drawn. It means you want to go on a mission, but at the moment you don't know yet in which direction you have to move. The first thing in order for you to answer this question, which direction to move, is you need to know your location. This now translated into, so what is it I'm supposed to do? Who are you at the moment? What are your abilities at this very moment? What do you have available time-wise, financial-wise? It doesn't matter. In which situation are you right now? We need to see where is our actual location. At least now you have a hint. If you're located here, you know you need to walk here, east. If you are located here, it's not east, because then you're going to make a long way. So that it really depends on where are you located. And this is why it's from person to person. It's different, and I cannot always tell to the same person, so you want to go there? Go east. You want to go there too? You also go east. No, because they are not starting from the same position. Some people have already some education and some experience previously that will immensely help them to already start from a different point.